Hey everybody, Bradley's Fan9 here. We're here on a Saturday. Sorry I wasn't able to make my video yesterday. As you could hear, my voice is still kind of not there, but it's here enough to give you all this good info and stuff to talk about. So I'll quickly tell you what we got for this week. We got my main week, the last week here. Finally got Shundos rolling again. We got the Mega update, so a lot of bad backlash came from the initial release of the Megas and how to evolve them. So I'll tell you all the updates that have happened so far and what's to come. I'll let you know of the next week, what to look out for the next Mega event. As well, I've updated a big section on my website that I'll tell you about. There's a new list of devices that are going to be discontinued for Pokemon, so anyone using the devices, I'll let you know, are not advised because they will be taken off the list of availability to use Pokemon GO. And last but not least, we got iSPOOFER shutting down. A lot of you may have heard the rumors or seen all the news, blah blah blah. iSPOOFER is shutting down, so I'll tell you what I have to think about that and what's next for people who are using iSPOOFER. And also I'll tell you of the ability of the Itools right now. So let's get to all that good stuff. Okay, before I show you what I got in the last week in my main here, there's one little thing here. If you're rocking Itools and this happens to you, it's kind of normal. You'll try to teleport, but it'll say GPS not found. All you gotta do, go back into Itools, and if you want to stay in the spot where you want it to teleport, just kind of tap right beside it, hit move here, go back into the game, and that works every single time. So if you're wondering why that's screwing you around, that's all you got to do. Go back to Itools, teleport again, it'll make that go away. So now on to what I got in my main in this last week here. Alright, so this is where we were last week. As I mentioned, I went 2 weeks without a Shundo. It was almost 3 actually. I think it was a total of 23 days in between them. So if you're Shundo hunting, you'll get the feeling that maybe you'll never get one ever. But if you just stick with the plan, you'll find them. As you saw in my last 2 videos, you followed me. I went 2 weeks at least without them, and that was rough. But check it out. We broke the dam, and you know when you get one finally, I just feel they're going to start flowing. So just keep checking. It almost feels like everyone's going to be Shundo at that point. So you just keep checking. So as you see here, there you go, 4-star ball toy, first one of 2. So I'm just going to keep him till I find another one for the fam. Then a day after, ended up getting the Colonel. And as you see, he's also, there's the proof. He's perfect, he's shiny. And that's the full fam, got him and the Sunflora. Don't see too many of these, so I picked up 100 IV Exu. Not too bad. Then finally got the Shundo Aerodactyl I was looking for. I've seen lots of other people getting them before me, but I just stuck with the plan, and sure enough, there you go. In Ongar, England. So pretty pumped on that guy. Super rare Shundo. Once this event's over, you're not going to be able to get another one of these most likely because those guys never spawn, let alone Hundo cords. And while looking for Shundos, you may come into this where you tap a Pokemon, comes up shiny, and you think, oh, I got a Shundo. And then you'll see the CP, you're like, that's not what I was looking for. And sure enough, it's just a random ass shiny, so there it is, found a random shiny Abra. My first one since I didn't participate in Community Day since I was banned. But that's beside the point. And then while Shundo hunting, I saw a 32 Aerodactyl. I couldn't resist but check him, and then sure enough, he's a pinky too. So, little Dacty. We got 2 Dactyls. Usually I don't go for duplicates. There's only about 20 of my 247 Shundos that are duplicates. But hey, couldn't resist that guy. And then, boom, we got a Brotad as well. How cool is that? As I said, the Shundo Dam, once you get that crack, it just, boom, blasts open. So keep hunting, and you'll get things like myself here. So it's kind of making up for those last 2 weeks without getting Shundos, because that's, what, 5 of them? And as you see there, caught him in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. This is my second out of 3 Shundo Lotads for the fam. I already have a Ludicolo when it was first released as a shiny way back when it was first released in that research day. But then this new event that came out kind of tried to make it seem like he was new. He's not new for anyone that's new to the game. He was released a while ago. They just made it the featured Pokemon, whatever that means. So I hope other people got lucky enough to get Aerodactyl and Lotad themselves, because those are the 2 prime tickets. Tangulas as well. I wish I had a Tangela, got a Tangela, still looking for Tangela. So anyone who got Tangela is good for you. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, I was working on my website and updating the Pogo Shiny Hunter database. So if you want to keep up to date with my Shundos and want to see a full checklist of all the Pokemon you can find as a Shundo, you could use it for yourself as well if you want. You could go to bradleysign9.com, go to the Pokemon section, and it'll be right there, one of the main pages, the Pogo Shiny Hunter database. Then you can see all my Shundo data, and I'll be working on adding more to that. You can see the shiny babies, and I'm going to be putting on the shiny legendaries, just like a big checklist, and I'll put on my screenshots so you can click them and see the proof. So I think people who like to follow me for my hunt for the shiny decks, which I've been going for on my Pogo Shiny Hunter Instagram for quite a while now, you could go to that page and check it out. So you'll see all these guys on there. These are all my Shundos. I will make a video eventually now that I have renamed them all. So those are my pride and joy. So go ahead, visit that part of my website, and you could go see those. So on to the updates with the Mega Raids. So as you may have felt, and as you may have heard, the Mega Raids were not well taken, or at least how to evolve them and how much it cost and how to get the Mega Raid energy was very hard to do unless you're hitting up Mega Raids all the time, which is a money grab, and most people just don't want to do it. So Niantic noticed that, and as you can see here over on the chart, we got if you beat the raid boss, a Mega Raid boss, in this amount of time, you will get the corresponding amount of Mega Raid energy. So if you want to hit up a Charizard and you beat him in under 30 seconds, you'll get 90 energy. Or before the update, which it was a silent update, it was 55 was the max, and most people would get around 45 because most reasonable raids kind of took that long. But now with the new one, the lowest you can get from a raid is 50 energy, so that's definitely a lot better. And they've slightly reduced the amount. Once you evolve it once, then it sits at 50 for most Pokemon. Bug Pokemon, you know how they evolve lower. Some of them will take less, so the Beedrill takes a bit less. But instead of it being 50 raid energy to Mega Evolve it the second time, it's got knocked down to 40, and it's got knocked down to 20 for Beedrill so far for the Mega Pokemon that are currently in the game. So I hope that encourages some people to think it's a little bit better to hit these Megas. But a few more things they also plan to implement. So first off, these are things that have not yet been put into the game. The things I just mentioned to you are already currently changed in the game, but these are what they plan to come out with the next update. So one, they plan to make it so you can get Mega energy from walking with your buddy. I assume walking with a Mega. They haven't released full information on it, but they plan to be able to get energy from walking with a buddy. They also plan to give you more opportunities to get Mega energy from other than raids. They already have a few rare tasks. I haven't been able to find one. They seem to be nowhere. Maybe they increase the amount of research for it, but if you battle another trainer, you can get 5 Mega energy for the corresponding Pokemon that the research tells you. So they try to implement a few more things, but they have yet to tell us what they are, so keep in tune for those. And one more thing, if you walk with a Mega version of a Pokemon, so if you're walking with Mega Charizard, you'll earn extra Charmander candy while walking with them. That seems like a little, who really cares, but a little extra addition. So those are the things to look out for, and the current changes that have already happened with Megas. So now let's get over to the event that we're currently hitting and what's up next. Alright, so I showed you this last video, and I'll just tell you what's coming up in this next week here. So just at the end, before I put out the next video, which will be on Friday, my voice should be there by then, and we'll get Cresselia starting. So this is your last week to get a Heatran if you're looking for a shiny or a good IV. Maybe hit up these guys before they go away. And we got one upcoming Spotlight Hour on the 8th of September. All of Spotlight Hours take place on 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in their local time on Tuesdays. So this upcoming Tuesday, we got Hound Hour spawning. So if you need a shiny of him or want some Hound Hour candy, get ready for that. And now I made this graphic after my last video, so you would have seen it on my Instagram account, Pogo Shiny Hunter. So as you see here, we got the first week of events, Mega events, where if 2 million Mega Raids are hit, we'll unlock Mega Pidgeot. I'm not too sure at this point, since they had such a negative effect of people not wanting to hit up Mega Raids because it wasn't worth it. So we'll see what they end up doing with that. Most likely we'll get Mega Pidgeot anyways, maybe in a sorry message or whatever. I don't know. I don't see them just not introducing it because they probably already plan to. So for the first week here, you got until September 7th, so you got 2 more days to find these cool shinies. So as you see there, the Aerodactyl is definitely the rare one that doesn't usually spawn. And in my opinion, there's a special tier. Usually it's 1 in every 450 for full odds in a shiny hunt. But Aerodactyl, I feel, is in a special tier where it's somewhere around 150. So you got an easier chance to find him if you could check more of them. So try your best to find him. You also got Lotad, Tangela, and Magnemite, which are popping out to me especially. You see those other ones there. And unfortunately, Electabuzz has not been reported shiny. I was just hoping he would since he was one of the boosted spawns, but it doesn't look like that's the case. So as you see there, on Friday is the start of the next event. So that's when I'll be putting out my next video. So I'll talk more about that then, but we'll have Ladybug as the new shiny out there, and you can see those other featured shinies. And then on the 22nd, we got that other third week to look out for on the Doduo shiny release. You'll have Lapras spawning in the wild more, Alolan Executor, Wobbuffet, and maybe Mantine and Snorlax. Maybe there's a shiny wild release in there. I don't know. The fact that Electabuzz wasn't makes me think it probably won't, but there's a chance, so that's why I got wild with a question mark there with some shiny symbols. So if anyone gets a report of shinies, let me know. I'll be looking for sure to let out the proof on my Instagram if I do find them. And then last but not least, there's that bonus. You may have looked in the shop and find a 1-coin box where you could buy 3 remote raid passes. So keep in mind you have to have less than 3 in your inventory to buy it. Now that one's available till September 30th. But as an addition to Niantic saying sorry, there's going to be another bundle the same, but it'll be available on September 10th. So I don't know if it affects this bundle. There hasn't been any word on it. So it may be safe to make sure you go and buy this before September 10th. But it may not be necessary, but there is going to be another 1-coin 3 raid pass bundle. So keep an eye out for that on September 10th. So as I mentioned earlier, there is a list of devices that are going to be discontinued and won't be able to play Pokemon Go. So unfortunately, if you have these devices, they probably already run really slow and are annoying if you do use them to play. But if you still want to use it, unfortunately, you won't be able to soon. So those devices include Android 5. Anything using iOS 10 or 11 won't work. And then as far as iPhones, iPhone 5S and iPhone 6 will be also added to the discontinued list, so that iPhone 6S, I think, would be the oldest iPhone you could use to use Pokemon Go. So keep that in mind. They're adding to that list, but not too many because those are already old. And as I've mentioned to other people trying to get a device to start spoofing, do not pick something on the oldest just because it's going to be cheaper, obviously, but don't pick some on the lowest end of the spectrum, oldest, because they're going to be next up to get discontinued. So give yourself some extra time by buying a few generations ahead so that you know you can use it for a while. That's just a little tidbit. So now let's move on to the dark side of things and talk about iSPOOFER and Itools here. And iPogo, because, spoiler alert, that's probably what most people are going to be using. So as you may have heard this week, unfortunately, iSPOOFER is going to be shutting down, I believe, at the end of September, or that's when their subscriptions end, so they're going to at least hold to their word and provide the service till then. And they have auto-canceled all the subscriptions, so if you have subscribed to iSPOOFER Pro, they will get auto-canceled, which is very nice of them and respectful. Like, if you were maybe back when Pogo or something plus was running the spoofers, basically you had to subscribe to their patron, and they just changed their patron name and just named it some random BS and kept charging people for absolutely nothing. They did no service. They offered nothing to anybody. I was one of the people, since I paid for my mom to be able to spoof because she enjoyed it, and I didn't realize that she kept getting paid. She got the emails but wasn't realizing what it was for, so I kept getting this charge and didn't know where it was from, and that was Global Plus Plus. That's a name. So screw them. I really respect iSPOOFER for doing this. So if you have paid, don't worry, they will stop your auto subscriptions for you. And if you've been following me, you know that I rock another device here, and this one rocks iSPOOFER. So you see there. So unfortunately, this won't be here for very much longer, but it does still work. As I mentioned, it'll still work, I assume, till the end of September. So if you have paid for Pro, you can still use its features and things like that. But most people are wondering what's next, and iPogo is definitely, as I've told you before, it's basically the same thing as iSPOOFER, just a different thing to download. So I'm definitely going to be moving on to that with this device. I haven't yet done that since I still have iSPOOFER. Since I still have iSPOOFER on here, but I have been looking into the ways to download it. They seem to be a little bit different. They have had a direct download, but like iSPOOFER has been down for months basically. So I'll look into it. There is something called Matrix Installer, so I may have to download that, and it'll be similar to AltStore. But maybe AltStore can work, and I could just download the IPA, because you can download IPA files as well for iPogo, and maybe you could just install it using AltStore. So I will be trying that. As I also mentioned last week, if you go to the Spoofing Vault page of my website, you will find tons of good information there, but one of them is Discord links. You'll see a little blue button on that page and it'll say Discord links. You hit it and then it'll show you the different invites that you could get, and iPogo is on there, so you can go check their Discord and there'll be tons of info on that. They got their different methods of installation, although it's all typed up and summarized. So if you want a video, and if it is necessary, I will be making it and coming out with it eventually soon here. So stick with me for that, because I will be switching to iPogo and we'll be checking more into that. Hopefully that stays alive too, but there's been no word that it's shutting down. They've even mentioned on their Discord that they are aware people are probably going to be moving on to there. So keep in mind, iPogo is what most people are going on to. But as I mentioned, iTools is the best way to go, the safest way to go. It doesn't offer a bunch of little extra in-game things because it's not a third-party app that changes things in-game. You have to exit out of the game and go into the iTools and change your location that way, and then go back into the game and play it as you normally would. You don't get automatic excellent curveballs and things like that. So you have to realize you have to be a little more patient, but at the end you know how safe you are, so you could use your favorite accounts and not worry about it. So on the point, I've shown videos where to buy it, how to install it once you get it, and every video I mention if it's in stock or not, because they don't always stay in stock. So there's iTools Mobile, which is this one. That is still currently in stock, but keep in mind, if you don't have a device that's on iOS 12, if you have auto updates on, I advise turning them off, because once iOS 14 comes out, you may want to stay on 13 for other purposes, but that's besides the point. That's in the future. If you have something on iOS 12, you can get that Bluetooth, or not the Bluetooth, the iTools mobile device, and you can spoof anywhere. If you're on iOS 13, you can still get the mobile device, but you'll be limited to 15 kilometers from your current location. Now, as you saw in my last video, there's a bypass for that, but it's only for people who are using the Bluetooth version of iTools. That's that guy right there. So you would plug something else into the bottom of your device, which is a little RJ45 adapter. I ordered 3, as I mentioned in my last video. They still haven't got here, so I'll let you know, make a video on that when it comes. But that is only compatible with the iTools Bluetooth version, which unfortunately is currently out of stock. As I mentioned in the last video, there's only under 200 left in the store, and then after thousands of people watched my video, I'm sure enough of them bought it. And if you did, you're going to be joining the group, and I'm going to be making more videos on iTools here, because iSPOOFER shutting down and more people able to get iTools. We're going to have more of a community that wants these videos, how to use iTools and the different things that go with it. So unfortunately, Bluetooth out of stock. If you do want to spoof and get spoofing with iTools, I suggest waiting until Bluetooth comes back in stock. If you follow me on Patreon, shout out to all of my supporters on there. I love you all. You're awesome. You really have boosted my confidence and helped me keep going here. And I'm always open to help you. If you have any requests or need help, please don't hesitate to ask. And I let everyone on there know as soon as things are in stock and things like that. I try and update that sooner than anything else. So thanks to everyone on there. And keep in mind, you want to wait till Bluetooth iTools comes out, because you could get the iOS 13 bypass, which was only $15 extra. But currently they're both out of stock. But if you were smart enough to have a device that's still on iOS 12, you could buy that cheaper mobile version of iTools, and it'll work like it's working here, and I've been using it for months and I love it. So I hope all that information was helpful. There was a good amount of stuff in here. I try not to make these videos too long, but sometimes stuff just makes it fill up a bit. So thanks for everyone watching these videos. I love all the support, and I hope you enjoyed all the information, spoofing and legit. We just keep growing here, and you're really making me feel good. I'm trying really hard to work on all my angles, my website, my YouTube, my Instagram, really help people out. I want to branch out more on Twitch too. I'll be starting to stream on there, so you could come and ask questions or watch me game. I'm going to be getting a Switch soon too. I'll have tons of other content as well coming, so thanks to everyone following me. I love the support, and I hope to see you all in my next video. See you, everybody.